everyone is joining, and today I'll be talking about the books that I've read in September. So yeah, I've read a lot of books in September. I have read 13 books, which is crazy to me just because I don't remember the last time I've read that many books in 1 month. I think it was like maybe 5 years ago, maybe. I don't remember, but I'm really happy that I've read a lot of books in September. So yeah, before I ramble some more, let's talk about the books that I've read in September. So the first book that I've read in September is The Promised Neverland, Volume 8 by Caillou Shirai. I think that's how the author is pronounced, and I apologize if I butchered that. So if you haven't read the first volume follows a group of orphans that are just living a happy life in the orphanage, and then they find out that life isn't as great as it seems outside of the orphanage, and I really love this series. I love these characters, and I really like the world, even though when I went into this blind when I first read the first volume, but yet I'm really loving this series. I know I need to try the anime at some point, but I want to try to also catch up on the manga since there are only 20 volumes of it, which I'm really sad about, but yeah, I'm really loving this series, and I just can't wait to continue on with the series. So yeah, it was a 5-star read for me. So the next book that I've read in September is Blade of Secrets by Tricia Levenseller. This is about a girl who is a blacksmith who is hired to create the most powerful sword in the world, and then an evil king is going after her. I think that's the plot. I'm trying to remember on top of my head. I know I did a 48-hour readathon with this book, so yeah, it's the warlord. Okay, that's why. I really like this world. I really like the characters, and I really hoping I like the last book in a duology because it's a duology. So yeah, I really like our main character, and I really like the sibling sibling relationship in here since our main character has a sister. So yeah, I really like this book, and I hope I like the sequel to this duology. So yeah, this was a 4-star read for me. The next book that I've read in September is Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly. This is about one of the stepsisters of Cinderella, and it's about their story, basically what happens, like their story after the story of Cinderella, and I really enjoy this book. I love our main character. Like, all she wanted to be is happy and see if she'll find true love herself. So yeah, I really enjoy this book. I honestly read this within a day, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the world, and I really liked how she's been questioning whether she is as bad as she thinks she is. So yeah, I really enjoy this book, and I give this 5 stars. Did I give it 5 stars? Sometimes I forget my rating. I don't know what. Yeah, it was a 5-star read for me, and I'm just glad it was, because it was one of the 5-star predictions I've been trying to catch up with. But yeah, it was a 5-star read for me. And the next book that I've read in September is We Free the Stars by Hefsa Weisel. I think that's how the author is pronounced. I mean, I listened to part of this on audiobook, and this is a sequel to We Hunt the Flames, and it's about a girl who's disguising herself as a boy to help the poor people, or she tries to help the poor people, and the prince tries to help her. I'm trying to remember what the plot of the first book, because I haven't read the first book in like maybe 4 years or something like that, but I mean, that was basically the premise of it from what I remembered, and unfortunately for me, I didn't enjoy this as much as the first book. So yeah, I'm unfortunately gonna unhaul this series. I was hoping to like it since I received the first book in a book box like many years ago, and I was hoping I would enjoy it, but I do want to read the author's release next year, because it sounded really interesting, and I really like the cover of it, and I do want to give this author another chance. So yeah, hopefully I'll like that one more than this duology. But yeah, I was disappointed with this one, so yeah, it was a big unfortunate for me. So yeah, it was a 3-star read for me. And the next book that I read in September is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This is about a boy who's trying to figure out who he is since he moved from California to Utah, and he's just basically trying to figure out who he is, and then he decided to sign up for a seminar to write a book, and then he meets this boy who ends up partnering with him, and And that's all I remember from the plot of this, but I really enjoyed this. This was a really cute story. I really liked the characters, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I thought, and plus for someone who loves creative writing, this kind of caught my attention because of that. But yeah, I can't wait to read more Christina Lauren's books, because I know that they write a lot of adult romances books, and I think this is their first YA book. I don't think it is, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this was a 4-star read for me. So the next book that I've read in September is Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. This is one of Hercule Poirot's mysteries, and I'll just give you a quick synopsis of it, just because I don't like giving away murder mysteries. But this is basically about a girl who witnessed a murder, and then no one believes her and then she ends up murdered herself, and they're trying to claim that a ghost killed her, but Hercule Poirot is trying to solve the case by proving that the ghost wasn't murdering anybody. So that's basically the premise of it, and I really enjoyed this as much as her other books with Hercule Poirot. But I know I really need to try Miss Marple books. I know that was a good one as well, but I know I love Hercule Poirot as a detective, one of her famous detectives in her mysteries, and I know I love Agatha Christie books, and I know I've been wanting to read more books by her. I know I have some on my TBR, but I don't have all of them, obviously, but I do want to read more of them in the future since I really enjoyed them. And yeah, this was a 5-star read for me. And the next book that I read in September is Final Lady Fortune by Chloe Gahn. This is a book that takes place in 1930 Shanghai, and it's a retelling of, I'm trying to remember what the retelling is, and I know it's a retelling of something, and I keep forgetting what it is. I think it's, oh gosh, this is gonna bug the heck out of me. So I know it's based on a Shakespeare play, but this takes place after these Violent Delights duologies. So yeah, and you follow Rosalind, and I really like her character, and I really like the story, and I just can't wait to read the sequel of this, just because I waited a year to read this, even though I was anticipating it last year. But I do hope to read the sequel as soon as possible, because I really love Rosalind, and I love her story, and I really liking her story, and yeah, I really can't wait to continue on, and yeah, it was a 5-star read for me. And the next book that I read in September is You've Reached Sam by Dustin Thau. I think that's how you pronounce the author's last name, and it's basically about a girl whose boyfriend that just died in a car accident, and she decided not to attend his funeral for some reason, and then she ends up getting a phone call from her boyfriend, and she doesn't know how it's happening, and that's pretty much the premise of it. I love You've Reached Sam. I honestly can relate to this main character. I just love the story so much. For someone who's dealing with grief recently, it just makes me happy to read a book about grief, just because I know everybody deals with grief differently, but I just love how I read about Julie's struggles and all that, and I just love these two characters, and it just really warms my heart, and I think this is definitely one of my favorite books of the year, because of, like I said, just reading a book about a character who's going through the same thing I'm going through just kind of makes me feel better a bit. But yeah, it was a 5-star read if you couldn't tell. So the rest of the books that I've read in September were Alone Among Us. If you haven't seen the reading video that I spent a whole week reading Among Us, I'll link it in the corner in case you missed it. But the next book that I've read in September is Tokyo Ghoul by Shu Ishihara. I'm sorry if I butchered the author's name, but this is basically about a boy who wants to live a normal life, and then he goes out on his date with this girl, but then she ends up being one of the ghouls who just wants to eat him, and then he got into a bad but I don't remember what it was. It was I know he was in an ER, and he needed an organ transplant, and the doctors wasn't aware that it was a ghoul, and gave him a organ transplant, which made him a half human, half ghoul. So yeah, that's basically the premise of this, and I did not. I thought the story was interesting, but there were parts that just made me very uncomfortable. That I'm like, yeah, my husband's right. I wouldn't end up liking it, but I didn't think it was bad. It's just not for me, and yeah, I'm trying not to. Trying to get. There were things that were grossing me out, but and it just made me want to throw up a bit from reading this. But like I said, it was the premise was interesting, but it's not for me. so yeah, like I said, it wasn't bad. It's just by knowing my taste in books or any stories or anime in general, it is not for me. I am sorry for people who like this series, but it's just not for me. So it's a 3-star read for me. So the next book that I've read in September. What? Why am I having a brain fart for a second? The next one is Spy Family Volume 1 by Tatsuya Ando, and again, I'm sorry if I butchered the author's name. This is about a spy who has a mission to have a family, from what I remembered, and like he ends up adopting this girl who's a telepathic, and then he ends up marrying an assassin, and they become a family. So yeah, I really enjoyed this manga. I love our main characters, and I love Twilight, and apparently that's not his real name from what I remember, but I love Twilight, I love Anya, and I forgot what the assassin's name. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so mad at myself, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna be continuing this series just because I love the characters, and it just made me laugh, and I'm like happy that it made me laugh, and I don't usually read a lot of spy stuff. I watch spy movies, but not a lot of them, only when I'm in the mood for it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I can't wait to continue on with the series. So yeah, I give this 5 stars. The next book that I've read in September, and of course another manga that I enjoyed, is Demon Slayer by Kaio Haru Goto Ush. I'm sorry if I'm sorry if I butchered the author's name. I know I really need to pronounce these authors' names, but I feel bad for not pronouncing it right, and I know people will correct me. But yeah, this is basically about a boy who finds out that his family is dead except for one sister, who ends up turning into a demon, and he's trying to find a way to turn her back into human. That's basically the premise of it. I honestly love this story. I know many people recommend it. If you like Bleach, you'll like this one, and I did, and I definitely want to continue on with the anime, because I'm not sure if I would be able to continue with the manga, so I'm just doing what's best for me. But yeah, I'm just glad that I've read the first volume, and I know that one of Kevin's relatives would be very happy that I've tried the first volume of the manga, even though they only watched the anime, but still. But yeah, I just can't wait to continue this in anime. So yeah, I give this 5 stars. So the next book that I've read in September is Death Note Volume 1. I know this contains 2 volumes, but I only read the first volume, and the author is Shugami Oba. I think that's how it's pronounced, but I know the artist is someone else, and I'm sorry about that. But all I know about it from reading it is about a boy who ends up finding this journal that out of nowhere, and apparently you have a power to kill someone just by writing down who and how they died, and the premise is really interesting. But although one of the characters creeps me out, and I have to show you this guy, and if you've seen it anime or read the manga, you all probably would know. Yeah, this guy freaked me out. So yeah, he really creeped me out. So I don't want to butcher this character's name, so I'm sorry if I can't say his name. But the premise was really interesting to me, but I'm not sure if I would be continuing on with this one. But if you want me to continue on with it and give it a chance, let me know in the comments down below, because I know my husband thinks I'm not going to like it, and I told him if I have to choose between this and Tokyo Ghoul, I would pick this one. I'm sorry that the scenes don't gross me out as much or have a lot of gore in it as much as Tokyo Ghoul did, and it almost made me sick. I cannot lie about that. It literally made me want to throw up from those scenes. But yeah, I thought Death Note was interesting. It was a I don't say it was bad. It's just it was okay for me. I think the premise is interesting, but I'm not sure if I would be continuing with the series. But yeah, it was a 3-star read. But if you want me to continue on with it and give it another chance, let me know in the comments down below, because I know some people don't know my taste in anime and stuff, but I don't mind going outside my comfort zone a bit. So yeah, either way, it was a 3-star read for me. And the last book that I've read in September is One Punch Man by Yusaki Murata. And again, sorry for the butchering the name, but this is basically a superhero manga about a guy who just likes being a superhero for fun. And that's basically the premise of it. If you've seen the anime, you probably would know what I'm talking about. But this was a really interesting read. There were a lot of goofy scenes that I'm like, eh. So, but yeah, I think it's a good manga, and I like a lot of superhero kind of stories. So yeah, so for someone who's watched a lot of superhero movies, I know I definitely enjoy it. But for some of the main characters, I'm like, what the heck's going on? And yeah, now I'm definitely going to continue on with this one as well, just because Kevin says it's really awesome and I should try it. And of course I tried the anime, or not the anime, the manga. Oh my gosh, my brain today. But yeah, I definitely want to continue on with this series. So yeah, I am giving this, I gave this 4 stars. So that's all for the books that I've read in September. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and comment down below what books that you've read in September, because I would like to know. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!